Hello there, and welcome to my third movie review in my series, Classic Movie Reviews. So, this is a fantastic film, in my opinion, one that is relatively obscure, although it did have some quite famous actors in it at the time, and a quite famous director. This was a British production from Goldcrest Films, which was actually filmed in America and set in the United States, although it was, largely a British production. Although none of the main, I don't think any of the cast were actually British. So here it is. This is the DVD of Black Rainbow. You can see on the cover there's Rosanna Arquette, who had tremendous success with Desperately Seeking Susan, but she took a very different direction with this film, which came out in 1989, and generally her career tended to veer towards more sort of arty and more introspective films than her first efforts, although one commercial film she did do was The Whole Nine Yards, which is a comedy in which she's quite funny, actually. So that's an aside, but she's done a lot of sort of arty films over the years, obviously not wanting to capitalize on, her very mainstream success at the beginning. Anyway, this film also stars Jason Robards. Very late in his career. He'd already been an actor in films for 40 years at this point, and I think around roughly that, and his last film was in the year that he died, in 2000. Also in the film you've got Tom Hulce, who had a massive hit with Amadeus, which has recently been redone. The original version was a massive hit. Although his career didn't really take the stratospheric direction that he might have hoped or others might have hoped for him. And lastly, of course, the director Mike Hodges is famous for the film Get Carter. So although this was moderately successful, it didn't have huge support and doesn't have the same sort of widespread appeal that Get Carter had. I'm not really sure why, but it didn't get a full distribution in the UK or in America, although it has had generally a favourable response from critics, and finally got a DVD release in the 2000s. And I think it's actually a real classic of the late 80s. It's a story of a clairvoyant who is sort of hauled around the country by her father, who is an alcoholic. That's Jason Robards' character, and he does an excellent job in that, I must say. In fact, all of them did a really fantastic job. Tom Hulce is an investigative journalist who follows this odd couple around, and they're in a sort of small industrial town where strange events happen, very much linked with Rosanna Arquette's character. I won't go into the details of the plot, but it's quite an excellent story. It's a thriller and sort of a sort of supernatural mystery as well. It has a very strange ending, which I really like. Some people might find it a bit unsatisfying because it leaves things very open-ended, but I kind of like that myself. And as I said, I think all the performances were fantastic in this film, and I remember seeing it I think it must have been the early 90s, I think. and then it just disappeared. I didn't get to see it again for a very long time until I actually bought the DVD, because it was a film I very much remembered. It was very different from anything else coming out at the time. You know, there were a lot of sort of action films and sort of romantic comedies, and this is neither of those. Yeah, it's quite dark in places, and it's got a very fascinating story, I think. So I don't think it got the praise that it really deserved. The film itself, plus the excellent performances from the three main characters, who pretty much carry the whole movie. You know, most of the other parts are very minor. So anyway, I rate this one really highly, and I think it really is a classic of its time. I think now it's looked back on more favourably than it was at the time, and I think it really is an excellent film. So if you get a chance to check out Black Rainbow, do. You probably have to buy it, because it's one of those films that isn't really widely available on streaming services. But you can pick one up, you know, for fairly cheap, I'd say, on DVD or Blu-ray. You might be able to get it as a digital download in some places, but in my opinion, it's well worth getting. It's a kind of film that's got a lot in it, and it can stomach, you could stomach a few views of it before you'd sort of get anyway bored, because there's a lot going on, and little details that you might miss the first time around. So anyway, I think that's enough. I'm not going to tell you any more about it, because it's one of those films where if I told you too much of the plot, it might ruin the film for you. So I'm not going to say any more, and only just say that I think it's a great film, and you should go check it out for yourself. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and this is only the third in the series, but you know, over time this will build up, and please do check out my other videos. It's taking a little while to build this playlist up, but your support with a thumbs up or a subscription would be, you know, very much appreciated. And yeah, I hope you find this interesting, and please go check out the film. Okay, thanks for watching. That's it for now. Bye bye.